That's right, a new generation Radion. Introducing Gen 6.
So here we have the new Gen 6 Radions from Ecotech Marine. Ecotech Marine are always pushing the boundaries and making sure that you've got the best light above your aquarium. And the Gen 6 Radion is no different. They're making two different versions, so the XR15 and the XR30, and in two different spectrums, so you've got the blue and the pro. So depending on what type of spectrum you want above your aquarium, they're making a light that's going to suit you. So looking at the light, it looks the same as the Gen 5, and it's still on the Mobius app, so you've got full controllability and connectivity. We've made a video on that, and we're going to put a link in the video now, so if you want to have a look at that, you can. But it may look the same, but where it really differs is under the hood.
So as Steve has said, looking at the light here, you'd be forgiven for thinking that it's a G5 model. It looks pretty much the same from the outside. So same body, same button configuration, heat sink's the same, cooling is the same. But the focus here has been on what's underneath, as Steve mentioned, and that is both the LED layout and also the way that it is lensed. And Ecotech here are focused on two key points: more spread, so wider spread, and more colour. Now, the Radions have always had a HEI lens, which is the hemispherically edged illuminating, as Ecotech would call it, lens. And this is the version 2, and it will give you a much wider spread out of each of the lights. So if you take a 30, for example, that used to give you around about a 3 foot spread, maybe a little bit more, depending on the mounting height. But out of the box now, completely standard, an XR30 is going to cover a 4 foot aquarium. Now, we're not saying if you've got wall-to-wall SPS Reef aquarium that you want necessarily to have a 30 lighting a whole 4 foot tank, but for a mixed reef, perfectly adequate. Par reading should be great all the way down to about 18 inches, so you're getting a lot more value for money. To give you an idea, the original lenses were about 110 degrees, the new one's about 126 degrees, which is really quite wide. The other area that's been focused on is colour. Now, obviously, Ecotech have always produced a pro and a blue model, but the focus on both of these has been to enhance that kind of blue end of the spectrum. So all the lights now, a few of the cyans, the limes, and some of those lower Kelvin rating white LEDs have been replaced with blue LEDs and UV LEDs. And the idea is to give your aquarium more pop, more fluorescence in your corals, in your fish, and that's whether you're getting the pro model or actually getting the blue model. Now, Ecotech have produced a really nice infographic, which we'll put on the screen now, which shows you where the wattage that has been removed from some of those LED types has been reinvested, and it will give you a bit more of an idea of what colour you're going to get right out of the box. Now, we mentioned earlier they're controlled via Mobius, so obviously there still is the option to set up the lights exactly how you want, but if you had all the channels on a standard percentage and you just controlled the intensity overall, this compared to the G5 is going to give you more fluorescing and more colour pop.
So a question we get asked a lot is what Radion to go for out of the blue or the pro. We have a Gen 5 blue above an aquarium we have here at our Click and Collect, so we thought it would be a great chance to give you a little bit of a comparison to show you the difference not only between the Gen 5 but also the new Gen 6 lights. So we're going to show you some footage now of us swapping out the Gen 5 blue that we have for also the Gen 6 blue and also the Pro. But please bear in mind that this footage has been taken on an iPhone, so you might want to take that into consideration.
As Steve said, the footage is filmed on, yes, the latest model iPhone, but completely unlensed, and it's really not designed for you to show you exactly what the light looks like, because to the eye it does look pretty different. But what it does highlight is the differences both between the G5s and the G6s. Now, if you have a G5 and you've decided that maybe you wish you had a Pro, or you wish you went with the blue, and you can't quite get to where you want to be using the Mobius app, then part of the launch of this G6 generation of lights is that you'll be able to buy the new lenses and the new LED clusters as an upgrade. So you'll get the wider angled HEI2 lens and an LED cluster with the new LED layout. Now, at the time of making this video, we don't actually have the prices, but as soon as they are available, we'll put them in the description down below, so you can jump online and order that if you want to. As always, if you've got any questions regarding the new Radion models or any Ecotech products, then feel free to get in touch via phone, email, or via our social media platforms, or leave a comment down below and we'll be happy to help. Don't forget to stay subscribed, give us a thumbs up if you've enjoyed the video, and I guess we'll see you on the next one.
See ya.